We are live song reviews, Radium Records here in Hollywood, California. I'm in Studio B and I've been putting this thing together and my camera is doing some crazy lighting stuff right now. And I think it's probably those lights in the back, so I'm going to probably kill those. But what's going on? If it's your first time, this is live song reviews. I'm going to be reviewing your user submitted songs through the mailing list. If you're not on the mailing list, drop your email here in the messages and I'll add you to the mailing list. You'll get a special link that you're able to upload your song. And I'm going to go through those songs and I'm going to give you guys feedback on those songs. Songwriting, melodies, lyrics, performance, mixing, mastering, production. Just going to kind of go through these songs and kind of give you my feedback. I am in a newly tuned room, so it's really fresh. I've been listening to music on the new setup right here for a few hours today, so I'm pretty excited to check out your guys' stuff and hear it in the new room. What's up, Oscar? And this is not a new room. This actually used to be the studio, and then I built another studio downstairs, but recently it rained really hard in LA and got some water in there and some floor damage, so I had to pull up all the floors. Just got them replaced, so I'm pretty excited about it, to have two rooms, not because my studio flooded out. That actually sucked. But let's get into it, you guys. Let's get right into user-submitted tracks and what you guys uploaded, and I'm going to give you some feedback, live song reviews. All I ask for you guys, give your feedback as well, but also share the show. If you like anything you hear tonight, you get anything out of it, you uploaded a song and I gave you some good feedback, share the show. Now, if you didn't like this and you were like, yo, that sucked, then don't share the show. Cool. All right. Fair enough. I'm about that. I'm about the equality of sharing the show or not. Hope you guys are doing well. It's Sunday night. I've been working. I've been doing a lot of physical labor lately, you know, putting studios together and building panels and shit. So I'm excited to listen to some music. All right, here it is. I got not too many songs tonight, so we're going to blow through these for sure. All right, let's tap in. First up, I got the Paper Plane Prayer. I'm going to do this by date. Yeah, okay. The Paper Plane Prayer finished Hassan Kadeem Nelson. All right, let's lock in.
This what I say is about my head. Anybody else but you. I'ma put you on to my daily bread. Anybody else? No. Anybody else but you. I'm coming to you as a humble servant. No, I skipped service with a message urgent. Put me on the right path to my purpose. Most of the stuff in the past weren't worth it. We feel stuck, devise a plan. These are the words of a young wise man. Get up every day, do what you can. But you wake one day and feel you can't. That's why I go so hard in the paint. Hell hot with my godly rank. Food for thought for the starving brains. Choose your thoughts for they cause a stain. I want you out there, teach what worth I'm working on myself, but nobody's perfect. In Babylon, now you know your purpose. I gotta stay away from walking serpents.
All right, so this is pretty bad. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be honest. And if you're here for the first time and you can't take real and honest, then y'all going to have a really hard time watching any of my shit, to be honest. So the intro is so confusing. Right away, I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, what are we getting ourselves into with this song? I really have no idea. So there's like this weird like prayer thing. And it's all like auto-tuned and it's not like, I don't know. There's just nothing emotional about that. For me, it doesn't connect in an emotional sense. Now, when you actually get into the track, you're talking about emotional stuff and you're talking about God and you're talking about religion and you know, I get that. It's like a Christian rap kind of thing. But you want to pull people in. You want to like really have people feel something or connect with you or whatever. And I've talked about this many times on this channel with like Christian, gospel, anything that's going to be like a spiritual led song. I mean, even soul, right? Like when you play soul music, you want to like get someone right away. Like, oh, that's nice. You don't want to preach at them like up front. Like you kind of are getting rid of your audience. I feel like when you start given the preaching up front. Like, oh, here's my prayer, and then you know, say a prayer, or have like a priest or a pastor like doing an excerpt, like the Lord came down, you know, that kind of thing. It's really cliche, but also I think people that aren't actual followers of the religious thing or the spiritual side, they get turned off by that. And now I'm not saying like, you know, you can't make music for your religion and like directly for your base of Christianity, of, you know, gospel stuff. I'm not saying that. You guys can do whatever you want. I'm a Christian myself, you know? So I would just say that if you're trying to like talk to people and relate to them and maybe share something that you like and you believe in, or you think could help someone, you should maybe come at it with like more of a, hey, an understanding, or with the music, or connect with them with a melody or something, you know what I mean? Rather than like preaching at them or doing this weird like gospel, I don't really know what's going on, to be honest with this. I would make fun of it like crazy, but I don't know. I'm just not in the mood to make fun of stuff like that right now. But anyway, I'm going to play this real quick.
What I say is about my head.
Like, this is just not very effective either. Like, coming in, what I say, like, it's just not coming across right. I think a big part of it is the mix is like, it's very detached. The vocals sound very detached from the beat. The 808 sounds very detached from the rest of the track completely, right? Like, once the 808 hits here, you can hear it just feels like that's on its own. It's just doing its own thing. It's in its own little world. Like, I'm the 808 over here. I'm going to do my shit. You guys do your thing over in the back. I don't know, but check it out.
I'm coming to you as a humble servant. No, I skip service with the message urgent. Put me on the right path to my purpose. Most of the stuff in the past weren't worth it. We feel stuck, devise a plan. These are the words of a young.
Just really imbalanced, you know? That guitar is really beautiful. It's like playing this really cool little lick, but I don't hear it. Like, you got it so tucked in the back. And you got this big, like, 808, this, you know, kind of like just in your face and doesn't really make sense. Feels like it should be like tied together with the guitar and with the vocals and everything in the same world, but it's not. So I think a lot of it is mixed stuff. But it's performance as well. Like, yeah, but that's only going to sound good when the mix is really good. And you know what the final product is going to sound like. Because if you bring all of that up, you might just sound kind of goofy. Like, yeah, like it's not coming off and across the way that I think you have in your head of what it should sound like or what you're trying to go for. But those are the notes I got on this one. It's hard, you know, because it's so like demo-y that it's hard to give you feedback on this, like to help you adjust it. But those are my notes. Like, shorten the intro for sure. Cut out that stuff. Cut out any fluff and any like, you know, weird auto-tune prayer thing. Like, that's just not really hitting. I don't know. Maybe somebody will like it. I couldn't tell you. Drums and 808 don't come in until like 38, 40 seconds in, which I think is just kind of a long time to make someone wait. So that's it. Unleash audio dual pistol. Y'all share the show if you're getting this. You like it, you have fun, whatever. I don't care. But share the show, you guys. Appreciate it. Let's get into this. Unleash official audio by Dual Pistol. I think that's what that is.
Very fun and went on. Hey, cartoon, you got another one loose. Yeah, cut him loose. Yeah, cut him loose. Yeah, cut him loose. Yeah, extra dope, duck the goose. We don't duck your heads until we dead. On falling grave. BB cousin tidal wave. Sorry about the earthquake. I know that the day is pace. If you out, you ain't safe. We like the static case. Cut him loose. Yeah, cut him loose. Yeah, cut him loose. I wanna see the dog in him.
Yo, this is just a big mess right here. So I'm gonna try to get my camera to stop brightening me up like crazy. I feel like I'm like blast it out, baby. All right, there we go. Sorry, it's driving me crazy. I'm looking like a freaking Casper the Ghost over here. All right, so anyway, for this one, clipped out like crazy. Like, you gotta learn gain staging. Like, the gain is just all over the place. Tons of distortion. Just sounds really poorly recorded.
Talking water smack in my DMs on the cut 'em loose.
What would make this track hard is the thing that you're killing, you know? You're killing the part of it that is hard, you know what I'm saying? So like you're clipping out the 808 to where there's like no sub. There's no like low end frequency. And that low end frequency is really just getting choked out by how much distortion is happening. A lot of wraparound distortion, right? So it's just sounding like instead of it's not feeling heavy at the bottom, right? So you're missing that, which I think is kind of killing the energy of the track for sure. Also, the vocal is like sounds like it was recorded really poorly. Just doesn't sound good. It sounds all clipped out, distorted, really, really whack.
Till he dead on farm grave. BB cousin tidal wave. Sorry about the earthquake. I know that the day is paid. Every I be ain't safe. We like that static cake. Cut 'em loose. Yeah, cut 'em loose. Said cut 'em loose. I wanna see the dog in him. Talking water smack in my DMs on the AM to the PM. Down the PM to the AM. Now the bam. I just can't if I see him.
Yeah, it's just it's just too much distortion, too much just bad quality recordings. But yeah, I'm not really into it very much just because like I think the mix is just killing it for me. And the vocals sound really tiny. Like they sound like cut 'em loose, cut 'em loose, cut 'em loose. Like it doesn't sound hard, you know? Like something's hard when it's full and it's rich and it's in your face, you know what I'm saying? So to get something in your face, you got to have mid-range and you got to have some low mids in there as well. Like that 200 area that a lot of people like to cut out. They're like, oh, 200 to 400, man, you got to get rid of all that. That's all just mud. It's like, not really. Like that can be something that like gets right up in your face. You know, that's the low mids. That's that, ooh, that's that chest. Cut 'em loose, you know? Like I could hear Rick Ross coming on this, like he's going to take over the whole track. You know, it's going to be like that big, thick, I like that. And if you think about that has that boss feel to it. And that's why I like when you engineer for artists like that, or even like Barry White, or, you know, anyone with like a big voice. It's very demanding when you have that thickness in the voice, and that thickness is really around that, like, you know, I mean, shit, it can go all the way down to 80 hertz. You know what I mean? If you really want that sub in the voice. But a lot of people cut out, I think, too much of the 100 to 500 area, the vocal. They're always trying to carve all this shit. And it's because their rooms aren't tuned and they're not hearing that frequency range very well. Maybe it's peaking out like crazy in their room. Or maybe they're not getting enough of it in their room, whatever it might be. So sometimes you get really muddy, congested vocals when you put too much of that area in there. And then sometimes you get really in your face, tight, punchy vocals when you get into that area. But to make that area work, you got to carve it out of other things. And a lot of the times what I like to use is like dynamic EQing, multiband compression, things that are going to happen like only if too much of that frequency builds up. I'm going to duck down a little bit of that. And it just kind of like rides it and makes it organic in the mix to use something, you know, set the attack and release time really well. So they're like, cut them loose. Like that's what you're doing. You have like the attack and the release going and pumping with that idea. And I'm talking about multiband compression or dynamic EQing. Meaning like if you got that frequency in an instrument, in a synth or something, you want to just kind of duck that down as the vocal sings. Anyway, that'll give you more punch, more like in your face vocals instead of this, cut them loose, cut them loose. Like it just sounds puny. It doesn't sound demanding. It doesn't sound big or intense. And I think you're going for that. I think you're going for big, intense in your face, you know, like demanding. That's what the track feels like and sounds like, but the vocals don't, and the mix doesn't, for sure. But I think the production's not bad. Like, it's pretty hard, you know? Nico Bars and Richard Roosevelt. All right. Hell yeah, man. We got some visuals, which this still looks amazing. Let's check it out. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. Are you guys hyped? If you're hyped, seriously, share the show. I've been working my ass off today, yesterday, day before, to build these studios out. But I made sure I wanted to get a live song review in with you guys because I haven't seen you in a while. And yeah, just means a lot to me if you share the show. All right, let's get into it. Let's check this out.
Yeah, I heard the track. I was like, yo, this dope. But where the hook at? Rich said, ain't no hook. It's a series of events. I said, bet.
I've been established, head of the class, I finished the fastest. I've been a savage, hitting the gas, I'm getting this cabbage. All you niggas is average, I kill you and all who live at your address. Give you a casket, all you rat bastards, casualties massive. That shit is tragic. Yeah, east side, I be on the east, been a beast since knee high. East side, come and see why they do crime and they keep quiet. East side, we fly on a G5 till we find something seaside where the heat rise, where we eat pies. Get high, get some head in the bed that's king size. One of the games, so I strain them udders. Churn after churn, I just made some butter. Live up north, but my dad's side southern. College educated, but I came out gutter. Word to my mother, not concerned with these others. I just work with my brothers, I discern with my brothers. Never turn on my brothers, I just work with my brothers. Get returns on these numbers. Don't start, no they won't be none. Trying to make my way to my freedom. Trying to get away from my demons. Trying to make my way to the kingdom. I lost a lot of faith in the kingdom. Can't even explain all the reasons. They say you reap what you sow, grow what you grow, but I never had a green thumb.
Yeah, Nico bars, he go hard. Had to grab that fast cash, the baddest badass they seen so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a pig that don't fly straight. Scarface, you a motherfucking hassa. Making maneuvers, I had to move through the sewer. Had to humor the rumors and all the mindless minutia. Swimming with barracudas, was in that water, no scuba. Now I shoot through your medulla with this verbal bazooka. Want peace and quiet, want a piece of my shit. I told these dudes like 100 times. It's simplistic, I'm about my business. Little distance, slick shit is none of mine. Got blocks hot like it's summertime, but you can shove that shit where the sun don't shine. Can't undermine if you undefined. Real recognize real, nothing come to mind. Unrefined gold is stupid, so abusive. Rude music, I overdo it. Goals obtrusive, no excuses, go and do it. Fuck blocks and barriers, I'm going through it. Zone 5, made it out the hood, never severing my home ties. A Street, Pitt Street, hit peak, been a big beast as a pipsqueak.
Love it, man. I love visuals, man. Like, I think like that helps the track so much, dude. And I love this like outdoor, like kind of wintry scene. Like, this is dope with all the trees, like, you know, bare, really like desaturated kind of vibe. I like the noise in the video. You know, it really like fits the vibe of the music and the sound. So yeah, you guys killed it. You guys really worked with someone that like had a good eye for just like fun, cool stuff. And I love that you have Nico Bars in the background. I'm assuming that's his name. I see it, X Nico Bars. So anyway, I think like it's really cool. He's like in the background dancing and like, you know, hanging out while someone's up front, and then you switch up. Like, that's really dope. I think anytime you have stuff in the background, that's really cool. I'm giving you feedback now on the music video, right? But no, I really like it. I thought it was really hard. I thought it was really fun. One thing I would say about the whole like mix overall is like the sub and the drums are really choked out. I feel like you can really have that hitting way harder. And I mean down at the bottom, like that 60 hertz to like 30 hertz. I want to like really like it doesn't have enough weight. It feels like it got choked out pretty hard and over compressed on the low sub stuff. And I'm just going to play this again just to really like move in and out here.
East been a beast since knee high. East side, come and see why they do crime and they keep quiet. East side, we fly on a G5 till we find something seaside where the heat rise, where we.
Yeah, it's for sure missing that punch, man. Like, I feel like whoever mixed this, they have problems with their room, you know, like the 100 area specifically. I would say like from 300 all the way down, there's a lot of issues with this mix. And it doesn't feel full. It doesn't feel like punchy. It doesn't feel like that really low sub kind of almost sounds like a synth bass vibe that's going on this. Could be really, really cool if it had some like some push, that punch, that like in your chest kind of thing. But it doesn't. It's like carved so much and it feels so weird. And what ends up happening when you carve too much of that stuff and you're like, oh, I don't want it to like clip out my speakers or whatever, I just want the vocals to be really loud. it makes the vocals sound really, really detached from the record, because the vocals are really carved too. Like, I feel like you're carving everything way too much. Let that shit like fill out and feel warm and fat and in your chest, and bring back the 100 area, and then bring back the sub area. You know, there's a lot of that just kind of missing in the record. And what that ends up happening, what that does with the vocals on this, it makes the vocal sound really mid-range heavy with nothing to support the vocal. So the vocal's like, yeah, I'm in your face like this, you know, but the beat is like, you know, you're like, I'm going to stay out of the way. But the vocal's not filled out to take up all that space in the low mids and that punch space. So you can do one of two things. You can bring the punch and the low mids and the sub back in and let that be full and big and mean in the mix, and let the vocals still stay like kind of small and tight in the mid range. Or you can bring that back into the vocals and make the vocals bigger and more impactful and more intense. And then just bring some more sub into the 808 and stuff, because it's missing the sub. It lacks a lot of that. Like, I'm just not feeling it. It's like, like it's like really like 500 heavy. You know, it doesn't feel like big and weighty and subby and full and as street and like as raw as this visual gives me. And then what I was gonna say is, like, with Nico Bars, like, you guys peaked out at like 1 to 3K really hard on him. He sounds like really like almost to the point where he's like too peaky in that area where it hurts your ears a little bit. And I'll show you what I mean.
They drama, what's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a pig that don't fly straight, scarf.
Yeah, it sounds like you took like an EQ. It could be any EQ, but you like peaked it out a little too much, like in the one. I mean, to my ear, it sounds like 1.2, 1.3K, like right in there. And I bet you if I downloaded this and checked it out, I could see exactly where it's at. Let's do that, actually. I mean, since, you know, not many people on tonight, it's Sunday, I'm going to show you guys some extra stuff. But yeah, it's like, it's lacking the low end, like the sub stuff. And it's this vocal is like really, like it's really jabby in that mid range. I think you could bring more body into his vocal. You swept out too much of that, like 180, you know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that this is all like really helping. I'm not trying to get like too nitpicky, but when I hear this stuff in the studio, it like bugs the fuck out of me. So I have to address it. But in the meantime, as we open up Logic, let's get into the next one.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Great worthy music.
The changes all around us. I laugh 'cause it don't seem real. I know y'all can see it too. Please don't get the blues. The only thing that we can do is just do what you gotta do good. This is for your soul. If it was food, it'd be nutritious. Here I am with you at the crib doing dishes. I wish this things could go back a month ago. The norm where I go to work and the dog lays low. Very strange, the change just seems like overnight. But it's nice to see how most of us still got some fight together. The weather ain't even half bad. For the moment it's Ohio, it's spring, I ain't mad. The changes all around me. Lord, is all this real? I know you can see it too. I pray my ladies, please don't get the blues. The only thing that we can do is just do what we gotta do good, y'all.
This is an interesting track. There's a melody in there that could be cool, you know. The changes Da, da. Like there's something in there, but it doesn't feel like a vocal melody. It feels like a synth melody or something, you know, like or like guitar or something. It doesn't feel impactful enough, catchy enough, memorable enough to like carry a lead vocal, if that makes sense. Yeah, so like what I'm hearing is like I'm hearing this like ba ba ba, like the melody is just like really long and really boring. And yeah, I'd like to hear like, because the beat's so interesting, you know, it's like has this kind of drum and bass jungle kind of vibe to it, and I like that. I think that's kind of a vibe, but like the vocal has got to be as interesting, if not more interesting, than the actual drums, you know.
All around, it's spring, I ain't mad. Changes all around me. Lord, is all this real? I know you can see it too. I pray, my ladies, please don't get the blues.
Yeah, I'd mess with that melody, man. I could give you like a million like feedback points on the mix and the master, on the, you know, vocal tone that you're doing and that you're trying to do here with like the filtered mid-range up front kind of thing. Yeah, vocoder kind of vibes. Like I could give you all sorts of tips on this, but before any of that, I would make sure that that melody hits. Like, cause the auto-tune is like god awful. Like it's just so bad. It makes the track sound more amateur. It makes it sound like you're trying to find a melody, you know. Like it's just very like robotic, and I feel like your beat is already robotic, you know. Like it feels like everything gets a little too robotic. Yeah, we're in the robot future. Beep, beep, beep. You need something that has a little bit more soul, a little bit more feel to it. One thing I do like is, and I want to point out, is the 808, the sub bass in this, which I don't think it's an 808, I think it's a sub bass. The sub bass in this is what, it's doing exactly what the last track was lacking. So if you hear this sub bass, the that area, that like that 100, that really punchy, full, fat area, that's what the last track was missing a lot.
The only thing that we can do is just do what we gotta do good, y'all.
All right, so that's what missing. I'm gonna go into Logic. I'm gonna show you with that last one what is going on with that vocal, because that shit's driving me crazy. So we had a music video here, which was really dope. I enjoyed it. It's my guy, Rachel Roosevelt. He's the man. All right, let's tap in with this. All right, did you guys lose me for a second there? Probably, because I just switched sample rates. All right, let's tap in with this. Just gonna throw an EQ on this just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Also, make sure that you guys are hearing this as well, which I think you will. Let's go 256. All right, cool. So here's the audio, and I'm not even gonna look at the visual. I don't need to see it. Let's just open up an EQ. It doesn't matter what it is, but obviously I like FabFilter. I love FabFilter. I mean, who doesn't, right? So let's go to like where the vocal comes in here. I think Homeboy comes in over here towards the end. And I'm really hearing like this like 1.2 area, this like really mid-range heavy stuff that I really don't like. And we want to pinpoint that, and I just want to show you what that looks like. Okay, check it out.
Badass, they seem so far. Trying to drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a pig, don't fly straight. Scarface, you a motherfucking hassa. Making maneuvers, I had to move to the sewer. Had to humor the rumors and all the mindless minutiae. Swimming with barracudas, was in that water, no scuba. Now I shoot. Badass, they seem so far. Trying to drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a...
So now that I just kind of showed you that area, now really listen to the vocal.
Badass, they sing so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a pig that don't fly straight. Scarface, you a motherfucking hustler. Making maneuvers, I had to move to the sewer. Had to humor the rumors and all the mindless minutiae. Swimming with barracudas, was in that water, no scuba. Now I shoot. Badass, they sing so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a pig that don't fly straight. Scarface, you a motherfucking hustler. Making maneuvers, I had to move to the sewer. Had to humor the rumors and all the mindless minutiae. Swimming with barracudas, was in that water, no scuba. Now I shoot. Badass, they sing so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. What's a couple
All right, and then look at the low end. Look at the sub. Look how much it's like just filtered out right here. Being like that this is like a hard trap record, this needs more boom, man. It needs more fullness in the bottom. Like, I'll show you what I mean.
Badass, they sing so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More and all the mindless minutiae. Swimming with barracudas, was in that water, no scuba. Now I shoot. Badass, they sing so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. Now I shoot. Badass, they sing so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a pig that don't fly straight. Scarface, you a motherfucking hustler. Making maneuvers, I had to move to the sewer. Had to humor the rumors and all the mindless minutiae. Swimming with barracudas, was in that water, no scuba. Now I shoot. Badass, they sing so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a pig that don't fly.
It just needs more of that. And I see why you didn't do it is because you are clipping this out already. Like, you're already like really hitting this as hard as you can with limiter. But that just means you got to like figure out, you got to go back on the mix and you got to let that low end through. But yeah, that vocal is just like really pinned out in that area. I'd also even up here, like in 1800 area, kind of like right here, this whole area, like the vocal is just so like.
Badass, they sing so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a pig that don't fly straight. Scarface, you a motherfucking hustler. Making maneuvers, I had to move to the sewer. Had to humor the rumors and all the mindless minutiae. Swimming with barracudas, was in that water, no scuba. Now I shoot. Badass, they sing so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a pig that don't fly straight. Scarface, you a motherfucking hustler. Making maneuvers, I had to move to the sewer. Had to humor the rumors and all the
My brothers, I just work for my brothers, get returns on these numbers. Don't start, no, they won't be none. Trying to make my way to my freedom. Trying to get away from my demons. Trying to make my way to the kingdom. I lost a lot of faith in the kingdom. Can't even explain all the reasons. They say you reap what you sow, grow what you grow, but I never had a green thumb.
Yeah, Nico bars, he go hard. Had to grab that fast cash, the baddest badass, they sing so far. Tryna drag my name in they drama. What's a couple sheep to Mufasa? More like a pig that don't fly straight. Scarface, you a motherfucking hustler. Making maneuvers, I had to move to the sewer. Had to humor the rumors and all the mindless maneuvers.
I mean, come on. I'm like clipping it out like crazy and doing some crazy shit here. And everyone that, you know, doesn't know what the fuck they're doing and they don't know anything about engineering, they're going to be like, you're clipping the master, boss. You're clipping the master. Like, dude, I'm just trying to show you guys something. So this whole mix is like super scooped, you know? Like, if I turn this off, all of a sudden we get this like, and it feels really small. And then you bring the warmth and the mid-range, like the low mids, and you bring this shit back up and you take down the actual like 1K high kind of mids. All of a sudden you get this like warm, fat, like aggressive sound. And I feel like that's what it needs. It just feels like it needs to be warmer. It needs to be fatter. But anyway, I just wanted to show that to you. Doesn't matter. Everyone here, that I don't know if you guys probably like, yo, who gives a shit, Brad? Shut up. All right, changes. Audio master. No, we just went that. Yep. Glory. All right. Yep. Eric, you already got one here. Final Brandon. Let's go. Disodemo. Disodemo? Disodemo.
Why did she do it? I don't know why she do the things she do.
Yeah, so this is a vibe, but like right away with this mix, you can hear that this suffers what the other mix was doing opposite, right? So this is like suffering from too much of that 200, 400 area. Like it's got, like there's no clarity to it, right? So you still need clarity. A lot of the times, like if I want clarity in something, I might use like harmonic distortion, right? So that's something that I just absolutely love using. And I'm going to show you guys something with this because I think this is a really good thing so you can understand the last thing I just showed you. It's a great thing to show you that mid-range and like how to make that pop back out without adding like an EQ boost or cutting a shit ton of stuff, right? Because I feel like a lot of modern music, like people trying to mix themselves right now, they're lacking that understanding. They lack the understanding that it's not just EQ and that compressors and distortion and reverb and chorusing and everything is EQ, right? So it all adds timbre. It all adds a different curve to your equalization, to the spectrum, to the frequencies, to the harmonic structure, to everything. And I think it's really important to understand that. And obviously this live is becoming more of like a, check this out, here's what's wrong with the mix, and I'll show you what it's lacking. Because I just tuned this room and it took me a long time, but I'm starting to hear like everything super crystal clear in here. And I know like, you know, a lot of people don't have rooms where they can just spend, you know, $4,000 just on the internal acoustic tuning, right? So I want to just kind of help you guys out. That's all I'm trying to do and give you more value in this live. So let's go. Let's just open up a new session. Check, check. All right, let's tap in with this. Let's go to audio. And I just want to show you a really cool plugin as well, you know, because you guys like plugins. I haven't done a plugin the week in a while, so let's just throw it into this live. I think that'd be fun. Plus, I love geeking out on the audio shit, man. You guys have no clue. It's been like 26 years doing this, and I still geek out on it. Like I just love it. All right, so let's tap in here with this DSO, because I like the vibe. I think this is a really cool indie track. Very, very cool. Convert track format to stereo. Interesting. Oh, gotcha. I see. Yeah, I'm like, Logic is doing this new thing where if you drop in a mono track, it'll say, hey, you're trying to drop this on a stereo track. Or you drop in a mono track onto a stereo or a stereo onto a mono. It's like, gives you this whole thing. It's like, just do it automatically. What the hell? All right, so this is a really, really dope plugin and becoming one of my favorites. It's called Spectre by Waves Factory. Just incredible. Really dope. You can basically just kind of like find the frequency and you can drive it using solid state driving, warm, tube, tape, class B, diode, digital, bit, rectify, half rectifier, clean. And basically what we're saying is we're saying, hey, go to this range and distort it with these, you know, types. You know, that's the simple way to do it. So you can't cut. This doesn't cut, right? This is just saying where do you want to add the distortion, which I absolutely love because it's frequency specific. So check this out. I'm going to go into the like the 1 to 3K area, and we're just going to make that vocal pop a little bit more. Just using this. That's all we're going to do. Just this little plugin, baby.
She says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. Maybe it's just all a part of the plan. If I say nothing, then nothing will end. But if I do something, I won't be afraid. Do I stay or do I move on? Like a fool. She says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. Maybe it's just all a part of the plan. If I say nothing, then nothing will end. But if I do something, I won't be afraid. Do I stay or do I move on? Like a fool. She says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. Maybe it's just all a part of the plan. If I say nothing, then nothing be afraid. Do I stay or do I move on? Like a cuckoo. She says that he is a terrible.
All right, so tap in. This is a little over dramatized, right? But this is kind of like what I'm hearing in the mix, and I would obviously use maybe some different tactics, you know, obviously to master. But just with this one plugin, we're trying to bring the vocals pop out a little more intelligibility, and just make it sound more like a record. And I'm going to A-B it for you real quick.
She says that he is a terrible man. I feel like she says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. Maybe it's just all a part of the plan. If I say nothing, then nothing will end. But if I do something, I won't be afraid. Do I stay or do I move on?
Right? Real simple. Like, that's what the track is missing. And obviously, as you bring those frequencies up, you kind of notice that the vocal was recorded not so well. Eating the mic, lots of nasal, but also sibilance, which is like, this is the worst kind of vocal to deal with in the studio. You got someone eating the mic where they're getting a lot of throat, a lot of that, right? Like Kermit shit. And then you got like lots of sibilance as well. So you got to be careful with that. You got to pick the right microphone that's going to accentuate this vocal in the places you want it to be accentuated. And yeah, I mean, that's engineering shit, right? Capturing it right before the mix is very important. So anyway, those are the things I hear in this. I like the track. I like the groove. I like the vibe of it. But it's really hard to like hear past really what's going on there, right? There's other plugins that can really help you with this as well. Isotope has this, I'm just showing you guys some tools as well while we're here. Isotope has this new Ozone 10, the stabilizer. This thing's actually really powerful. Let's just turn the Spectre off, because these are like some of my favorite tools to master and to kind of shape buses, right? So if I bus all my drums somewhere, bus all my keys, bus all my strings, bus all my vocals, etc., this might be something that I use on it, or even on the stereo bus, because it's really good for that. So let's go to like all-purpose. We'll go to R&B, soul, you know, start with that. Basically, if I go speed, that's going to say how fast is it going to react to the information that it's being thrown. I would keep this pretty slow, because this is kind of a boom, boom, boom. It's real kind of a slow beat. Smoothing means like how sharp or how smooth you want the curves of the EQ. So I'm just going to leave that there. And then this is how much of each band do you really want to shape. And all this is just a look ahead dynamic EQ that is intelligently looking ahead and finding peaks and bringing them down, and finding lack and bringing it back up, depending on how you do it. Okay, because you can just do cut, or you can do shape. Shape means it's going to cut and boost. Cut means it's just going to cut. Okay, so check this out. Even if I just go cut, it's going to look around this area, I guarantee it, and it's going to start cutting some of this stuff out, because it's really chunky, which will bring more clarity to the vocal naturally. So when you take out something, you're going to add something else, always with mixing. It's just the way it works. It's a modular process. When you do something to something, it's going to affect something else, okay? Just understand that principle, and you'll be miles ahead of most people trying to mix themselves. All right, so here it is.
She says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. Maybe it's just all a part of the plan. If I say nothing, then nothing will end. But if I do something, I won't be afraid. Do I stay or do I move on? Like a cuckoo. She says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. Maybe it's just all a part of the plan. If I say nothing, then nothing will end. But if I do something, I won't be afraid. Do I stay move on. Like a fool.
So take a second and just look at the screen and see what it's doing here. It's kind of giving that boost at that 1K area, right? And it's bringing that low up, right? So you're looking at under 60 hertz even, right? So look at the spectrum and what I was doing with this. Weird, huh? So it's very effective to give yourself a little bit of a smiley curve, right? And I feel like this track is warm, but it's almost too warm, if that makes sense. So I'm going to just kind of bounce between these two just so you can hear the difference between Spectre and Ozone 10 and what they're doing intelligently. And also, like, I'm adding a little bit of top end as well. I'm just distorting it with the Spectre. So check it out. Here's A with Spectre.
She says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. She says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. Maybe it's just all a part of the plan. If I say nothing, then nothing will end. But if I do something, I won't be afraid. Do I stay or do I move on?
So you'll notice, obviously, Ozone 10, it's not, and I better use the right terms here so people don't, like, talk shit. Ozone 10 stabilizer is going to be it's a lot smoother, right? But look, I haven't touched the high end here. So when I start hitting the high end, I guarantee this is going to start boosting a little bit, just like I got the Spectre. Check it out.
She says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. Maybe it's just all a part of the plan.
So you see how it's intelligently boosting that same area that I boost with Spectre. So this what, 3.4 and then like 1.8, right? That's all this is doing, really. So right away you can just see, like, I'm showing you a visual representation of what's wrong with this mix. So I hope this is making a lot of sense to you guys, and I hope you're learning something from this. But you can see right here, right? 100 to like 600, right? 100 to like 600 I'm not boosting any there. This is cutting it, right? And then this is boosting it. So a really good chain for this might be to do the ozone, let it kind of like smooth it out, and then hit the Spectre with like some distortion algorithm. So it just kind of gives it a little bit more harmonic distortion and some more fun shit, right? So that's kind of what I would do here. Just taming that down. Now these in combo, just these two plugins can do so much for a mix. I mean, I don't even have the stems or anything. I'm just doing this on the stereo, right? So check this out.
She says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. Maybe it's just all out of the plan. If I say nothing, then nothing will end. But if I do something, I won't be afraid. Do I stay or do I move on?
Yeah, so this combo is really dope. I don't know, man. Like this would be a really dope chain. Ozone Advanced 10 stabilizer, just cutting, right? So it's just getting rid of any peaky frequencies, and then follow it with the Spectre to boost. This is not boosting those frequencies per se. What this is doing is adding distortion to those frequencies, okay? So this is a very musical way to EQ. Maybe the most musical way to EQ ever invented, ever, anywhere. Like, I don't know of anybody doing this exactly. I mean, just this combo is just really, really powerful. Because, like, I would use, for example, Sound Theory Goldfoss, but Goldfoss doesn't have the ability to only cut, right? So, yeah, let me just really A-B this for you guys. I hope you really get this, because A lot of people are carving with EQs. They're like, oh, I'm going to carve out this. I'm going to tighten the Q. I'm going to go find the frequency that's all screwed up. Bro, these two plugins in combination could be a chain that's 10 times better than what you're trying to figure out with your, your HS sevens in an untuned room or, on headphones. You know what I mean? Like just think about this combo and like really consider it. And you can flip through different, like all purpose. Let's try all purpose and just see what it does on the cut. And let's A/B this.
She says that he is a terrible man. I feel uncomfortable, act like a friend. Maybe it's just all a part of the plan. If I say nothing, then nothing will end. But if I do something, I won't be afraid. Do I stay or do I move on? Like a fool, like too many long days. She got no chill. I do my own thing. She does as well. But where will we find the time to chill?
Bro, people charge your ass $100, $150 just to do that. Like straight up. Like it's not about like crazy tools or crazy EQing or 15 things on your chain. It's about the ears, and it's about understanding what's lacking and understanding how to bring a record to life and make it feel cooler and make it feel the way that the song feels and the lyrics feel and the melodies feel. Okay, so hopefully that all makes sense. And I hope that was helpful. Let me see. Spectre. Yeah, Spectre's dope. You know it. Yeah, man, pretty good for 2 plugins. Like shit. I feel it. But yeah, that's I mean, you just got the masterclass on what's wrong with your mix. Like straight up. All right, let's get rid of this. Get out of there. All right, and let's move on. What do we got? Narcotics Love to Party. Some weird shit going on with my sound card. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. It's like playing the track over and over and over again. Like, nah, that ain't it. I'm just going to try and switch back and forth here.
Close case. Close case. Close case. Party. Been a long time, I'd never go fucking party. Been a long time, I'd never go fucking party. Bad bitches love the party. Bad niggas love the party. Yeah. Bad bitches love the party. Guarantee, yeah, we just love the party. Some way I gotta find a club. Some way I gotta find a girl that love. Gotta smoke up and drink up with the squad. Oh yeah, you done know we going hard. Party.
Yo, I would like this track if it wasn't just like filled with cliches. You know, party, yeah, we gotta go to the club, yeah, we're gonna smoke up, yeah. It's like, I don't know, man. Like we gotta come with some fresh lyrics, I think, and a fresh flow, because like the flow just feels kind of, real amateur. Like this is the way I rapped when I was really getting really high, like back when I was in college, man. Like when I first went to college, community college. Like the rap is just so like not that interesting. Beat's not bad. There's some stuff about the beat that's dope. Like at least you got the frequencies there with that 808 and stuff. I think you did a good job with that.
Been a long time, I done never go fucking party. On a club and hard. Party.
Yeah, like the frequencies of the sub and stuff are there, and that punch, and that's dope with the drums. But yeah, like vocally, I think I want to hear something more interesting, a better melody, like party, like that. That's just not. I don't know. It's not very captivating to me. And then last track tonight, guys. Okay, ILTU. Let's lock in. Let's see what we got, and then maybe I'll show you guys something I'm working on.
Who I am, but it's me that we had enough. Keep down and way stuck in the mud and I'll prosper. Making recipes to the top of the roster. You're never gonna change while I evolve and I can't one black box on top of people. I'm like a song.
All right, whoever uploaded that, thanks, man. It sucks. What do you want me to review? Yeah, man, sick snippet of your track. Like, nah, that's not even a song. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys. If you want to be on the mailing list and you want to get the upload link, you can join the mailing list. Just send me an email, bradley@radium-media.com, and I will add you to the mailing list and you'll get the upload link so you can get your song reviewed. Otherwise, when you show up to this and you haven't uploaded a song, like, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Get on that list, Big Nate. Get on that list, Big Kahuna. Man, y'all, all the big guys are all, where the hell? Get on the list, Kid Nems. What's up? Y'all got to figure it out. All right, you guys have a good night. It was fun. Hopefully you learned something. Peace.